For close to 2 years, leadership as well as ordinary citizens in the country have been preoccupied with how to prevent the spread of the coronavirus and even how to manage and also live with the virus. Well, it appears that we all have to contend with another virus, the highly infectious avian influenza disease, otherwise known as the bird flu. Now, from the beginning of this month, the Ministry of Agric, particularly the Veterinary Service, discovered that the bird flu was in the country. A number of birds have been killed. But then the problematic aspect of all of this is that it is a zoonotic virus, which means that it can spread from the birds to human beings and even lead to death. So when did we exactly record bird flu in Ghana? I mean, how widely has it spread, and what steps are being taken by authorities at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture to ensure that it does not spread across the country and cause further damage? On today's edition of the Citi Newsroom, we will be speaking to the various stakeholders to get a clearer picture of the situation and the way forward. Now, the chief directors of the Ministry of Agric have gathered early Monday morning with one thing on their minds, how to deal with the highly pathogenic avian influenza disease, otherwise known as bird flu. Now, as you can see in the background, they have been deliberating for some time now on what steps to take to ensure that the country gets a strong hold and handle the disease effectively. We have the privilege to actually be part of this meeting and also have here with us the acting director of the Ghana Veterinary Service, Dr. Patrick Abake. For starters, when did we note that or realize that the bird flu was in the country this year?
Well, for the country, we got a wing on the 6th of July as some birds were dying around Nongwa. So we rushed there, the veterinary services directly rushed there to take samples, brought them to our laboratory, and we were able to confirm the disease on the 8th of July on some 5 farms around Nongwa, Leshebi, Klagwan, and Dakuman, and then other community 25 years. We have 5 farms in the Greater Accra that have been affected so far. And we have 1 in the central region and 1 in the Volta region. In actual fact, in total, we have 7 farms that have been affected in the whole country, in 3 regions. And the Veterinary Services Department destroyed 4,500 birds, and 5,111 birds died naturally. Yes.
Now, I'm sure for a lot of people, how would you be able to tell if a bird has contracted the bird flu?
Unusual deaths of birds, they should be reported to the Veterinary Services Directorate if they see birds dying, and also advise them that they should not handle birds with their bare hands. They should use, if it only becomes necessary, they should use hand gloves to handle them and then dispose them. They are not supposed to handle dead birds or sick birds. Yes. And then what we've also advised them that if the need be, they should prepare this poultry meat, if they need be to consume it, because they might not be able to determine whether it's from sick or healthy birds. So they should prepare and cook it well before the consumption. We have advised them to do that. Yes. But with the poultry farmers, what happens is that if they register a sudden death, massive death of birds on their farms, then they become suspicious. Birds have got ruffled feathers, and then watery feces or droppings. Okay. And then if they have discharges from the eyes and the nose, swelling wattles or discoloration of the wattles, then they should suddenly suspect that it could be avian influenza and report to the Veterinary Services Directorate. And when we get there, we will be able to determine. You see, under the circumstance, the shanks of the birds, they become colored, the head become colored, it's colored. It's not normal. So when they report to the Veterinary Service Directorate, when we get there, we'll be able to determine, even symptomatically, but we need also to confirm it in our laboratory. And when it's confirmed, we take necessary action. and then destroy the beds, make sure that we bury them, then we disinfect the area.
Now, over here, a lot of the directors at the Ministry of Agric have gathered this morning. What are the key steps you are putting in place or implementing to ensure that we have this issue under control, and also that it doesn't, spread out to the other regions as we have it in the regions now?
That is why we immediately go to destroy. And so far, so good, because the disease has not extended to any farm apart from the 3 mentioned farms. But we have some other tests that is pending. That's from Takrady we are spending. But so far, it has not extended outside these 3 farms because of the prompt action we've taken to destroy the beds. Yes, so we encourage farmers to report sudden deaths of birds to the Veterinary Service Directorate throughout the country. Our men are on the ground, regional veterinary officers and district veterinary officers, and then they can report to the coordinating directors, councils, and then also extension officers to prompt us to go in and take action. And we have put a ban on the movement of birds from these affected areas to the other regions that are not affected.
We've seen it reoccur over the years. So then, isn't there a way by which we can end this? Isn't there something we can do to ensure that we don't have the bird flu occurring again?
It is very difficult. It's a viral disease, and it's very difficult because it keeps on occurring in other countries, and once it occurs in other countries, there's a likelihood that we can also it can also come to our country. As I earlier on told you that if migratory birds are involved, it is difficult to control migratory birds. So the disease will keep on coming. And the unfortunate thing is that we've not yet developed a vaccine for this disease.
Are we working on a vaccine?
Well, we don't produce those vaccines, but maybe it's being worked somewhere outside our country.